So I wanted to welcome everyone to the LinkedIn Lead Generation Foundation Program. In this short video, I'll tell you exactly what you'll need to do and where everything is. First of all, the Google Drive information will be sent to you once everyone has shared their Gmail address with me. You'll be logging into this section over here. I've broken it up into two different places, one for Garrett and one for Jeff. I'll go on to Garrett's. Obviously, Jeff will be exactly the same. Inside the drive for Garrett, you'll see a bunch of different files. The first thing you want to look at is the key phrase filters, locations, job titles folder. In this one here, you will be able to put a bunch of different information to make the process and the whole system work better for you. The first thing you want to make sure you have is a calendar booking link. In my case, I use Meetingbird. Here is another client's booking link over here. As you can see, when you open it up on his, it goes to his Meetingbird, and you'll be able to book things in. You want to have maybe a couple different choices, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and if you have a intake session like I do with clients, maybe a 1 or 2 hour to do that part also. The whole idea is to systematize everything and make sure that everything has a process and system. How many times have we possibly gone and tried to do this by hand, as far as asking somebody exactly what day and what time they want to speak to you and going back and forth? For me, it's always been a lot easier just to give them the calendar booking link and say to them, hey, you know what, I think we should possibly take this conversation on the phone, and here is my calendar booking link. Just book when it's convenient for you. The next thing you want to do is put your mobile number here. I find that texting is a great way of communication, as it's very quick and instant. And then obviously in this situation, this will be Garrett. My mobile phone number is over here. You also want to track how many connections you have on LinkedIn. All you do is go to your LinkedIn profile, go to My Network, and it shows you how many connections you have on LinkedIn. That way you can start tracking and you can start seeing exactly how many connections you have and whether or not the engagement messages and the people you are targeting are actually connecting with you on a decent basis. The next thing we want to do is figure out who are the professional job titles of the person you want to connect with. That way you have some better idea, which will help you with creating the search strings. If you want to put locations of what areas you want to target, you can this also. Once again, don't worry about if you don't want to do it. The next thing will be the initial connection message. Now, LinkedIn has just made a quick change, so I don't know if this is going to work or not, or your profiles have been targeted yet or affected yet. Initially, the initial connection message could be 300 characters or less. This one over here is about 280 characters, 90 characters. Now, LinkedIn is thinking of making the initial connection message only 140 characters. In our intake session, we'll do a test one and see if your profiles have been affected yet. If they haven't been affected, we'll keep it at 300 characters. If they have been affected, we'll bring it down to 140 characters. The initial connection message and the first follow-up message, which can be automated on your system, have to be done in a very special way. And by that, what I mean is, if you make your connection message or your first follow-up message salesy, trying to sell them something, this whole program will not work for you. How many times have someone sent you a connection message only to send you a message like this right afterwards the second you click on accept the connection message? Hi, thank you for accepting my connection request. If you ever need my services, don't hesitate to contact me. And in my mind, I'm going, WTF, I don't even know who you are, even why you're trying to sell me something. The old adage of no one will care how much you know until they know how much you care could never be more true as on LinkedIn. The whole idea for my program, I think I told you guys in the very beginning, or I told Lewis at least, is to create a relationship with somebody first before you try to sell them something. So through a series of messages that I'll help you guys craft, but you'll do the majority of work, we'll then warm them up so that we can find out, do they even need your services even? And if so, what part of your services do they need? Then you're going to start working on creating search strings. In the folder, I have a video to watch creating a search string, which is over here, as well as the Sales Navigator LinkedIn PDF, which teaches you and shows you exactly how to use Sales Navigator. I will also record our intake session and go over this with you in detail. The next thing you want to do is work on your custom avatar worksheet. This is so we can reverse engineer your best clients. This is a very important exercise, as most salespeople and most companies have never done this. Never thought about, well, who are my best clients out there? What industry were they in? What was the company size approximately? What location were they in the country? What was the professional job title of the person I first contacted? And also, what was the professional job title of the person who signed the contract? Sometimes there'll be different people. So it's very, very important we identify both the company name, their website address, and what services were done for that company. We can then hopefully start seeing a pattern develop, and I'll be guiding you all on how to reverse engineer that afterwards. The next one we're going to do is the conversations templates. Conversations template is so that you have something that you can pull from, once again creating a system on LinkedIn as opposed to doing things one-off. Everything I do in my business is tracked, is a system, so I'm not doing things on a one-off situation. That way I can just copy and paste this information and maybe change a couple of words on the message. So maybe on this one, so this one over here will be the same message as your first follow-up message, which is over here. But the subsequent messages can be done in such a way. So maybe on this one over here, you just copy and paste it and put the person's name. So thank you, and maybe you'll put in Dave. Thank you, Dave, again for connecting with me on LinkedIn. I work for this company, and LinkedIn provides me a great opportunity to communicate with other professionals in my area. We're extremely supportive of the industry we're working, but as you can see, you're not trying to sell them anything. So all these messages are for is to warm up the prospect and figure out, do they have a need for your service even before you ask? Because if you do the ask too soon, you'll lose them totally as a possible client. The last thing you want to do is work on the client tracking file. And when you are actually talking to somebody, on my Done For You program, which is this program over here, my team does this all for you, where we go into your LinkedIn profile and we see who you're speaking with, and you can find all information on messaging. And you can see that right now I'm engaging with my clients on my system. And the whole idea is when someone actually responds to you, not every single person you're connecting with, not every single person you're sending messages to, only when they start responding to you. Then you put the information into this client tracking sheet as either a hot lead, warm lead, and then you can figure out who you need to circle around with afterwards. So the whole idea is what can you do to start tracking this information? So there you go. There's the introduction to the program. Once again, when we're on the 2-hour intake meeting, I'll be going over every aspect with both of you, Jeff and Garrett. And once again, I welcome all of you to the LinkedIn Lead Generation program. Thank you.